My name is Erica Burrell, and I will be going over with you Alfie Kahn's book, Punished by Rewards: The Trouble with Gold Stars, Incentive Plans, A's, Praise, and Other Bribes. The topics I will be covering include the preface, and Chapter 3, Is It Effective to Reward? In that chapter, we'll also go over the main points: do rewards change behavior? For whom are rewards effective? For how long are rewards effective? And then we'll discuss the 3 case studies: losing weight, quitting smoking, and using seatbelts. We'll also answer at what exactly are rewards effective. We'll go over the other uses of rewards, and as well as do rewards improve performance. Kahn begins the preface with an experience he had in his undergraduate psychology course. He had an experiment where he starved cage rats to 80% of their normal body weight and then trained them to touch a lever. If successful, the rats were reinforced with Rice Krispies. Although Kahn was successful in completing the assignment, he failed to understand the reason he was doing it. In another psychology course, Kahn decided to write a lab report from the rat's point of view that described how simply pressing a bar had trained a college student to engage in breakfast feeding behavior. It was safe to say that early on Kahn did not take well to behaviorist views. From this, Kahn began to further his research to support his argument that people actually do inferior work when they are rewarded with money, grades, or incentives. He argues that programs that use rewards to change people's behavior are similarly ineffective over the long run. He believed that promising goodies to change for good behavior can never produce anything more than temporary obedience. In fact, Kahn believes the more we use article enticements to motivate people, the more they lose interest and are bribing them to do that project or assignment. Now I'll be moving on to Chapter 3, Is It Effective to Reward? Kahn states that rewards are often successful at increasing the probability that we will do something. He uses 2 examples to support this argument. The first is Leon, who was told that he would be taken to his favorite restaurant if he helped clean the kitchen. Leon grabbed his sponge and began to help. Another includes Nora, who does not like math. She was offered a reward of $5 if she completed all her math problems on page 228. So she pulled out her book and began to do her math problems. Kahn believes that not only do rewards increase the probability that we will do something, but the way we do it as well. He states that rewards offer one particular reason for doing it, which sometimes displaces other possible motivations. Because we are focused on the reward, it changes the attitude we take toward the activity as well. Kahn argues that the success of rewards are widely misunderstood and vastly overrated, so he begins to explore the belief that rewarding people produces changes in behavior and that the belief that rewards improve performance on a variety of tasks. Do rewards change behavior? To examine the claim that rewards are effective at altering behavior, Kahn poses 3 questions. First, for whom rewards are effective. Second, for how long they are effective. And third, at what exactly are they effective? To answer the first question, Kahn believes that behavior is easier to control when the organism you are controlling is already dependent on you. He refers back to a psychology experiment to make the conclusion that laboratory animals are typically underfed to ensure their responsiveness to food is used as a reinforcer. So because the rats are in need of food, they will touch the lever to be reinforced with Rice Krispies. The short answer to how long are rewards effective is that they work best short term. This means that for behavior changes to last, it is necessary to continuously give rewards. For example, if a child is reinforced by candy, you can induce him to clean up his room for as long as you keep providing sweets. However, he poses the question that what if the child becomes satisfied with sugar so that the reward eventually stops being rewarding to him? Alternately, he asks, what if he demands a larger quantity beyond your ability to meet them? If it does make sense to measure the effectiveness of rewards on the basis of whether they produce lasting change, the research suggests that they fail miserably. To ask how long rewards last and to learn that they rarely produce effects that survive the rewards themselves is to invite curiosity about just what it is that rewards are doing, Kahn states. Kahn asks, why don't people keep acting the way they were initially reinforced for acting? The answer is that reinforcements do not generally alter the attitudes and emotional commitments that underline our behaviors. They do not make deep lasting changes because they are aimed at affecting only what we do. Behaviors are still called in to help produce develop good habits or break bad habits. Three areas where there is enough evidence to permit at least provisional judgments about their success are losing weight, quitting smoking, and using seatbelts. In one dieting study, some subjects were promised a twice a week reward of $5 each time the scale showed good news, while others received nothing. Those who were rewarded did make more progress at the beginning, but then gained the weight back over the next 5 months, while those who had not been rewarded kept getting slimmer. The controversy with this study is that it was quite small, and a lot of the subjects were unavailable for measurement at the end, so the results are inaccurate. Similarly, a study was published 10 years later, but offered little help for the behaviorists because the results showed that there was no difference between the payment and non-payment groups. On smoking was a very large study published in 1991. Subjects were recruited for a self-help program designed to help break the habit. Some were offered a prize for turning in a weekly progress report, while others simply got feedback designed to enhance their motivation to quit smoking. Everybody else, which included the control group, got nothing. The results showed that prize recipients were twice less likely as others to return the first week's report. But 3 months later, they began to smoke more often than those who received the other treatment, and even more than those in the control group. Saliva samples revealed that subjects who had been promised prizes were twice as likely to lie about having quit. In fact, for those who received both treatments, the financial incentive somehow diminished the positive impact of the personalized feedback. Not only were rewards unhelpful, they actually did harm. Even more research has been done on applying behaviorism to the promotion of seatbelt use. In fact, an enthusiastic partisan of behaviorism and his colleagues reviewed the effects of 28 programs used by 9 different companies to get their employees to buckle up. Nearly 500,000 vehicle observations were made over 6 years in this research. The result was that programs that rewarded people for wearing seatbelts were the least effective over the long haul. And follow-up measures ranging from a month to more than a year later, programs that offered prizes or cash for buckling up found changes in seatbelt use ranging from a 62% increase to a 4% decrease. Programs without rewards averaged to a 150% increase. The authors found a greater impact of the no reward strategies, both immediate and long term. Of rewards. Some psychotherapists and couples counselors also use rewards to change behavior. One behaviorist, for example, actually suggests that spouses use tokens with each other to encourage conversation or to control excessive talk. Kahn states that an attempt to assess the effectiveness of rewards will pull us into a long and complicated discussion about how therapy works and how its success can be measured. He states that what stands out in any evaluation of the topic is that plans to solve problems by rewarding certain behaviors can only be expected to work for as long as these rewards are still in effect. Rewards improve performance. In 1961, a graduate student at the University of Kentucky, Louise Brightwell Miller, arranged a series of simple drawings of faces so that pairs of nearly identical images would be flashed on a screen. Then she brought 72 9-year-old boys into her laboratory one at a time and challenged them to tell the two faces apart. Some of the boys were paid when they succeeded, while others were simply told each time whether or not they were correct. Miller expected that the boys would do a better job when there was money at stake. Instead, she found that those who were trying to earn the reward made a lot more mistakes than those who weren't. The following year, another graduate student, Sam Glucksberg, published the results of his own dissertation. This time it was with undergraduates, 128 of them, who were brought into a laboratory individually. Each was given matches, thumbtacks, and the boxes they came in and told to mount a candle on the wall using only these materials. They were supposed to figure out that an empty box could be tacked to the wall and the candle placed on top of it. Some of the students were given empty boxes with matches and tacks on the side, while others got full boxes, which made the solution much less obvious. As with Miller's experiment, some of the students were informed that they could earn anywhere from $5 to $20 if they succeeded. Others weren't promised anything. Even though the subjects were older and the assignment was quite different, Glucksberg's results echoed Miller's. When the task was more challenging, those who were going for the reward had taken 50 more percent of the time to do it. Khan states that do this and you'll get that turns out to be bad news, whether our goal is to change behavior or to improve performance, whether we are dealing with children or adults, and regardless of whether the reward is a grade, a dollar, a gold star, a candy bar, or any of the bribes on which we routinely rely. Even assuming we have no ethical reservations about manipulating other people's behavior to get them to do what we want, the plain truth is that this strategy is likely to backfire. As one psychologist read the available research, people who offer rewards tend to choose easier tasks, are less effective in using the information available to them, and tend to be answer oriented and more illogical in their problem solving strategies. They seem to work harder and produce more activity, but the activity is of lower quality, contains more errors, and is more stereotyped, and less creative than the work of comparable non rewarded subjects working on the same problems. Now that we have reviewed some of the concepts in the book, I'm going to ask you a few questions that you can just take a few minutes to think about. So, do you think rewards can help or hurt a healthcare organization? I want you to think about relaying this back to the healthcare organization and thinking, would you, as a healthcare manager, use this method to motivate your employees? Do you believe rewards change people's behaviors over the long run, or is it just short term? Also, do you agree with any of Alfie Kahn's arguments about rewards? My resources, this is the book that you can go to if you wanted to ever read it. I would suggest going in to read it since we are going into healthcare. This would be a good book to kind of give you a few pointers about rewards and how it can work in an organization. Thank you for allowing me to provide you with an overview of Alfie Kahn's book, Punished by Rewards. I hope that you would look into it and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.